I forgot my chair. Okay, first things first, as old Telly Savalas used to say. Let's see, we gotta get some more light in here. So this is one of those things I got at that Milwaukee sale. This really cool, I don't even need it on bright. Look at that. It's got a magnet so I can pretty much stick it anywhere. Angle it. Never had that convenience before. That's pretty cool. Alright, we're going to clean up some of these bolts and stick some Coil on there, but like old Telly said, first things first. First things first, give me a cup of coffee, cracker. And let's see, pull these out of here. Oops. I think the nut gets torqued in the cotter pin. And you can see here, it's pretty worn. There it goes. Alright, let's try the bottom one here. What a mess. Yeah, here you can take a look at this. This is just the dirt from the other side. Well, a combination of both sides, I guess. Just taking that stuff off. Man, them suckers are really on there. Jeez. Alright, never save those for next time. Okay, the next thing we need to do is get that shock out of there, and then I can pull off this stabilizer bar. Pontiac did a lot of cool things. This stabilizer bar actually runs through a channel, suspension area, instead of just going along the frame. It's kind of neat. Alright, first I want to see if I can break these loose. Let's see, is that... You know, these are smaller nuts than on the other car I just worked on a couple weeks ago. Let's see, we need to turn it, I always forget, upside down, brain's not working. Yeah, that's right. Are we on camera? Is it working? Okay, let's see if we can get this off. Oh, look at that, it was hand tight. How about that? So we just need to go a couple turns with it. And the top one is 3/4, believe it or not. Alright. I don't know if my socket ratchet here is going to work. Let's try. Man, those things weren't even tight. Alright, so we got them somewhat loose. So now let's get some pressure over here. And then we can get that shock off of there. And look at this, this is kind of cool. They put this flap here to keep road debris out of the engine. That's right where the spark plug is, and there's the air conditioning bracket and things like that. The other side, it got snipped off. Looks like it's stapled in. But other cars, I never see that, or it's missing. So let's get that just so it doesn't interfere with the bolts, but just enough to take some pressure off the whole thing temporarily. There, that's good enough. Just for a little bit extra safety there, whether it matters or not. Okay, so I'm going to pull that shock off. that one broke loose. Oops. There. Take the tension off of that shock and these things will come apart a lot easier. And I already did the other side, and when I put the spring compressor in there, I barely had to compress it to hold it in place. But when I undid there's so much tension in here, the spring is what I'd call 30% compressed already. Again, I pulled another car apart the other day, and with no weight on it, there was a lot more travel. The geometry was totally different than this, that Thunderbird. So it didn't seem to have to compress so much. Cool. Tough part is squeezing that spring compressor, and you gotta put it in. Oh yeah, that thing's shot. Gabriel shocks, or Monroe probably, I don't know. Yeah, that spring compressor, you gotta put it in two pieces, so let's get that in place. Let me get this stabilizer bar off of here. Is that? Let's try that. I use these ratcheting swivel wrenches for just about everything now. Extremely handy, worth the money, that's for sure. All right, let's see if this will reach in here. Okay. I got all new bushings for that. Huh, at least. A lot of times they're fused in here, you know what I mean? Alright, so the next thing we should probably do, put on these goggles here and clean up some of this hardware. The reason I'm doing that is so when I spray this lubricant spray, it does kind of get in there a little bit better. I've got Coil too, but this is just kind of minor stuff here for now. So those come out when I'm ready. All right, now let's get the spring compressor in there, the fun part. All right, this is the tough part right here. I've already done this once, so the spring compressor to get into here. Let's see if I can get some better light into here. In order to get in here properly, take off these goggles, and I can see too, explain it. In order to get in here properly, this will not fit through this oval shape. So, you gotta stick it in one end at a time, and then very carefully need two hands, and I'm holding this camera, but you have to drag this up into there and then get enough room to get it to where you can flip this short end up to get it to hang on one of those springs inside there. All right, so I'm hanging this long end up. Darn it, with gloves it's kind of tough to do, I guess. I'm hanging the long end up out of the way. If I can. There. And then the short end will come around. Oh, come on, get in there. Jeez. Come on. Ah, see? Struggle. Let's see if we can get this to work. There's not a lot of room inside this coil. And I don't know how I did it before. You know what? I think I spun it. Nope. There's so much gunk in here too. Let's see if we can lift it up. A magnet would help. I've got a magnet right here. Yeah, this might help. Nope. It's not very strong of a magnet. Come on. The coil spring is so under so much pressure you can't even, I can't get a finger inside there. Shoot. Now it's all hosed up. Okay, let's try this. Oh, I know, look at this. I put my screwdriver in the threaded hole here and see if I can, that's not gonna work either. Let me see if I got a longer screwdriver. There we go, look at that. Okay, now hang it up just like I said. It's like working with chopsticks. It is like salad. Okay, here we go. Look at that, almost. Come on, come on. I don't know if you can see this with a blasted camera. The other side I could get the tips of my fingers in there, but I can't do it with this one. Hey, I got it, I think. Nope. Oh man, it's like a 1/64 of an inch it needs to slide up. Can you see that or not? Maybe not. Stupid tripod. There it is, right there. If I could just jam that up enough. But you have to use this spring compressor to get this thing to work. There, got it. Got it. That thing seemed kind of loose. That was weird. Anyway, so I have both sides up. Now the next secret is to get it up high beyond where you could see. And how you do that, you just get it started on one of these, like that, on one of the rungs, and then you can draw up the threaded part, you know, using the torque wrench or something. Where is it? So first let me get that threaded in here. Use the screwdriver to keep it from flopping around. There, got it now. The other thing you got to get, you're not going to compress it that much, so you got to get it threaded. Let me move this camera and you can see exactly what I'm doing here. Darn it, the viewfinder shuts off. got to get it threaded enough so that the thread actually works to keep those two hooks separated. You got plenty of thread to do that. So I thread it up there so it's parallel with the two hooks. Of course, I could just put the wrench on there and speed it up for you. All right, now you got to get this fork in here, and you really need a sledgehammer to get it in there properly. This spring is really weak and compressed. Let's see. You know what? I bought new springs for the rear. I probably should have bought springs for the front, but we'll see how it drives. We can always do that later. You know, this isn't as bad as I thought it would be. But anyway, you got to get the end of this inner horseshoe in the middle for the washer in here to land on it. So let me get that sledgehammer, see if I can, I don't know if I can swing this with the camera in the way. Is that even in the view? I can't see jack. All right. There you go, cool. It's now safely locked in one of those deals, but now you got to get it to where the wrench is not moved over enough where you can't get the driver on there. So let's see if I can. Just need to knock it over a 1/4 inch or so. That might have done it. Yeah, I think it's. All right, now I got my impact wrench. Actually, I don't think I need this extension. And okay, back to amateur hour here. Let's try to compress this spring. Hopefully nothing breaks. Okay, we got some tension off of there. Maybe not, maybe too much. Let me take a look at something here. I just want to see. Well, I think we helped significantly. See, I'll use the jack later to. I'm going to reposition the jack because we still have these nuts on here, so it can't fly off. And I'm going to. Let me back this thing off a little bit. And then we're going to loosen these, and you'll see the spring pressure will try to tear this one off first. But usually the lower control arm is below the spindle thing here. Because it's above it, we have to use that pickle fork to break it loose. So let me reposition this jack. Right there, perfect spot, according to this angle. Okay, we've compressed it a little bit greater here. Are we still on camera? All right, now we can loosen these nuts down a little bit more. Where is my wrenches now? Everything moves. I can't. There we go. Underneath the camera's leg. Sorry about that. Actually all hand tight here. Okay, so we're going to leave that. You just want a little gap in there. Most of the threads are still on that nut there. I'd rather not use a ratcheting wrench on these just because it's such close quarters in there. Oops, what the heck am I doing? Okay. That one's hand tight. Well, it was. So you just want to trying to get like an 1/8 inch gap. There we go, right there. All right, now I'm going to let that jack down just a little bit. First, you know what? Let's where's that pickle fork? Let's give it a couple blows. See if that thing is loose by any chance. So put this in like so. Oops, uh-oh. Battery's dying already on my new thing. Oh, popped down already, look at that. Easier than ones of the past. Let's try this bottom one when we get lucky. Are we there yet? No. Let's try it. Got it. Don't have a lot of room in here. I'm like up against the wall behind me. Uh-oh. How the heck? There. Look at that. Got the darn thing loose. Can you believe that? Now the big surprise. We let the jack down and hopefully that spring doesn't go crazy in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie it off. Alright, I got the jack under there. Let's get this spindle nut off of here. Spindle off of the ball joints. And then we'll get out of the way. And let that jack down. So there's that unit. Pull these ball joints off in a moment. Let's get this spring out of here. Get out of the way of the spring in a safe area. Look, here's the secret to let this thing down real slow and be ready to stop. That spring compressor took quite a bit of the pressure off. There, it looks like it's not decompressing anymore. That's it. Okay, now. Yeah, it's totally decompressed. Okay, so we're safe. Okay, now put this cable in here in case it tried to fly. Okay, we got the spring compressor in there. It's still dangerous because those threads have all the tension on there. I'm going to kick the jack out. until you get that bolt off of there. You never want to be in front or behind this sucker, because if those threads go, this sucker will go. Alright, so let's take that. Actually, this one I could probably just leave on here. I'm going to take off some of that pressure. And another thing that you can do is count 1, 2, 3. So we're 3 down from the top, and we're 4 up from the bottom where that spring compressor is connected to. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coils in the middle. So 3 up from the bottom, actually 4. It's holding the 4th one, and 3 down, it's holding the top. 3rd down from, you can see where the start is here. So those are things to observe. And let's take it out just a little bit at a time. A lot of pressure there. That's finally done. Jeez, that took a while. So you could see the weight of the car was doing most of that work there, because I didn't put much compression on this spring compressor. I didn't have much room to go. So something to remember. Look at that mess. Yeah, my original plan was to take these off and put, I have new lower control arm bushings, but these, they don't seem bad at all, actually. The rubber is not sticking out or nothing. So I'm just going to leave them alone, but I'm going to just clean up this area. And one other thing that I noticed yesterday on this car, one of the freeze plugs it was a steel one, and it's corroded, so I got to pull those out. So we'll get on that coming up next. Right up here, the freeze plug let go. I noticed some corrosion. I just touched it with a screwdriver, and it subsequently started to leak. Let's see if we can see it right here. Yeah, that one right there. Lovely, eh? So we're gonna yank that out, and I got a special tool to knock a new one back in. It doesn't look too impossible. Somebody did work on this thing, because the block drain plugs are brass and they look pretty new. So anyway. Well, these things are like hand tight. Look at that. There. Simple as that, huh? Well, in hindsight, I guess I knew the bottom ones were shot. Just totally shot. Even I checked the other side too. It's just notchy. Oh man, it is really, really bad. The top one is fine. And so I only ordered bottom ones. I thought I had 4 new ones. So the only bad thing is I need the boots. I ruined the boots getting those things off. These suckers are $60 to $120 now. So now I gotta find the boots. Here's one. I guess I could reuse the one from the bottom. On the other side, there was two. There was two jammed on there. I don't know how. So I'll have to clean these up and find a better one for the other side, which I think I do in my old parts stash. So yeah, we'll just get this bottom one replaced.